What you want to move to, Lex? You want to go to the Israel startup, or you want to do Hip Hop Uncovered?
We can do Hip Hop Uncovered.
Yeah. You been watching it, kid?
See, I'm like he
because he sent it to me. The Big U show, Dead Bad, and they talking about the streets and how hip hop is one, like the dope dealers funded hip hop. Yeah. Episode 3 and 4 came out yesterday. You've been watching it though.
No, it's incredible.
Big U, Deb Ed, Bimmy, and Haitian Jack, and Trick.
Yep.
Just talk about the arc and the connection and the parallels between the streets, and literally the beginning, like rappers delight being funded by the mob, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And so not just hip hop either. Music as a whole has always been in alignment with street shit, and there's no debating that.
Yeah. My office hours are from 9 to 5.
Don't ever get it fucked up. I think they do an amazing job in highlighting the ingenuity part, though, right? Yeah. When you talk about the crack documentary just came out, Netflix, amazing. But how it's not just one of those things that's glossed over and just wrapped into the conversation to move the story along. Yeah. It's told from the perspective of like niggas are trying to go legit. At the end of the day, it's like all this influx of money is one thing, but we trying to move into a legit space, and this rap shit look for real.
And essentially, they venture capitalists.
Yeah. And some of the best.
And some of the best.
Some of the best based on just sheer opportunity and like being. It's like, all right, bro, being resourceful as fuck. All right, this dope is here. We got this. We could do this. That's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it don't matter what the product is. They're gonna figure out a way to sell it. That's the genius behind it, right?
Man.
Like,
and it documents, from a Midwest standpoint when you talk about Motown and everything that was happening in Detroit, back east in the '80s, and then but it's especially the West Coast and the crack era for real, right? I thought that was dope to see it in context of gang culture, the influx of guns, the influx of the cash, but then how quickly you were able to you assemble, a label, some hit records, and then immediately, like, for as fast it became popular, there was dope money, street money, crime pays money wrapped into major corporations that were operating as if they were just corporations and their hands was clean.
Yep.
You talking about from as early as fucking my Adidas being in bed, like that was them. Russell was getting it, but Russell was tied in the Supreme and all that. Like them real street niggas for real.
Yeah, and the point is like you gotta have those connections in order to make it, right? Mm-hmm. The infrastructure has to be there. Yep. You got to tap in with whoever you got to tap in for you to be able to move that product.
Yep.
So it's a struggle that anyone trying to break into any business is trying to figure out.
Facts.
And those 4 individuals, laid the groundwork for it.
My favorite part is how thorough Haitian Jack is keeping it and talking about Tupac. That nigga wasn't no gangster. Like, I said, Haitian Jack's still sick. Like he like there is no part of him that was about to pander for this show and make it a kumbaya story. He's like, nah, fam. That nigga seen how I was giving it up. He's like, essentially his character on Above the Rim is me.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Well, he's like, I got him his first Rolex, got him his whip, got him. He was wearing all that trash shit. Put that nigga in Versace, made him look fly. Nigga, now he a star. That's me. Whew.
He didn't talk about how his case was separated from Pac's, and it was a fair case. Did he talk about?
No, he talked about that. That's where he said the shit got fucked up.
Where it get fucked up? How this case?
He said Pac let the lawyers separate them. He said we would have beat that shit easy, nigga. Like we would have walked out of there.
Pac let the lawyer separate.
That's what he said. I'm just watch this show.
Yeah.
And you.
Hey.
My point in taking up for Pac is in the honor and integrity that Pac offered to the game versus H and J is that we can't just take everything face value.
Nah, ever.
And you know what I'm saying? Pac ain't here to defend himself against the Haitian J.
Ever. Nah, yeah, watch.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch
it. Wait. Listen, because I know that he probably said some stuff on there. Did he talk about how he? Because I know some other shit about him. Did he talk about how his family came from Haiti?
JR. Watch the show. Watch the show. Because it ain't. And that's the because we just talked about it too. The vacuum of art and storytelling. Pac, you said it. Pac been going. I don't know what if none of that shit was true. Yeah. It's just the idea of telling it in the arc of the connection between the streets and rap becoming the #1 export from America at one point. We have to tell it for as much as we can, and everybody recounting their versions of the story anyway. All them niggas is lying. You know, they're or not telling the whole truth because it's all through their filter and their lens of how it went for real. Pac got a whole different experience of what actually happened. Pac be like, nigga, you got me a Rolex, nigga, but I was already gonna get fresh, nigga. I didn't get that from you. Pac be like, I got it from such and such, you know? I ain't getting wrapped up in all them niggas' details. Yeah. No. I just thought it was I thought it was hilarious how much of a
Peach still got quarter century later.
Like, damn, nigga, why you still got that energy like that on camera and making it known and it just was a Vlad interview on steroids basically.
Do we be on camera though?
What?
Who you talking about? Like, do we be?
He
on camera.
Oh, he's on camera.
It's on camera.
No, I'm saying like, is he usually on camera?
He just started being.
Yeah.
Okay, so that let you know where his energy came from.
Yeah. He seen what it was and like, let me get this bag real quick.
Yeah,
Is
bro.
he in the United States?
Nah, he's been deported. Yeah, he was extradited back to Haiti. He's in the DR. Yeah, because he couldn't. He even said it himself. He couldn't handle being in Haiti.
I think what he's saying is his family is connected to some other shit in Haiti, but that's for y'all to research on how he got here.
Yeah, man.
Pac said he was a snitch when I was a kid.
No, but he been saying it.
I guess he's a snitch.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I think we've all trusted Pac because we look up to him as a leader, especially in hip hop culture. And so, I mean, it's unfortunate that Jack has to give his testimony without Pac being able to defend himself. So we'll never ever have that dialogue.
And who did that? Jack did that because Jack was alive when Pac was alive. Why he didn't refute the charges when Pac was alive?
I fall out of Pac conversations because he was
Well, I think, yeah, but I think,
a kid.
yeah, and I think from Jack's point of view, and this is why the series is so dope. There's a code that all of these individuals said they lived by and chose to live by. And in some cases, some of our most favorite hip hop artists don't follow that same code
Because they're
not built that way.
Yeah, they are artists through and through. Make no mistake about it. The few street niggas that have broken through ain't the greatest lyrical miracle rappers, nigga, and is getting part of their stories from the street niggas that are either backing them, funding them, or what have you. So there is this. But to act like the worlds don't collide is silly. So you see it in something like 6ix9ine case where it's real killers around, like, and all of them went down because they was really killing people, and then here this nigga is, it's on the internet lit essentially, like doing like he can drop a video and do 23 million views because the civilians that are engaging with this product and this entity that's hip hop, they don't really care about no fucking street morals for real, but the people who are upholding it and funding it, risking their fucking lives every day and come from the world for real. Yeah. And so that's what Deb and
they're seeing it as stock though. They were just seeing it as like the percentages was going crazy. Mm-hmm. So like it was a quick grab.
It's a bag. Yeah,
it was a quick bag, but it wasn't like there wasn't longevity attached to it, and that's where like you kind of get fucked up in.
So it was GameStop stock before GameStop stock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was with the government being able to put the hold on that motherfucker.
Facts. Yeah. When you look at just gangster rap as a whole, if we go gangster rap is birthed here and the economics of gangster rap is birthed on the coast. Think about who's at the forefront, who's penning some of these raps. We go, it's Cube, and then Cube was like, well, it's my cousin, and all. I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, well, y'all just telling great stories. This is awesome, but the feds is kicking in people's doors and shit. You know, so it just creates this. Not and it's not, and it don't even just pertain to hip hop. We talked about films and storytelling and stories that have been omitted, like purposefully kept from us to even know that they exist. You know, and so now the first time people are ever seeing or hearing them is in a fucking movie. Mm-hmm. The first time you ever hearing about these people, you're like, oh wait, I think I know everything. It's like you couldn't. You could just, no way that that director, that writer could put everything into this one thing. We still have to. The burden is still on us to go research and figure it out for ourselves. But where are you supposed to do that at? Who are you supposed to do it with? Right? Because there's just so much. There's so much to digest and to filter through your own culture scape. Like you got your own shit to go that you're running these stories through and these individuals, right? And I think what's so beautiful now in terms of like just seeing the little community we're building here is the space for individuals, and it don't have to be this collective conscious. What the fuck is that? For real, bro. Like, I got my own shit going on. Yeah. Battling addiction and all this other shit that's going on, bro. I don't get collective conscious, nigga. It ain't the same. But what we can share in is, like, safe space to come get these ideas off. Yeah. And at the very least, allow one of your brothers who you look up to or who you respect. Like, Lex does cool shit. I'm going to give him a different ear. He can talk to me different. Yeah. Me and JR have been building for it. He can, hey, bro, you should probably consider this. You know, there is... I think for black men, the shit that keeps getting misused and undermined in pop culture is the amount of trust we need in a learning environment. Mm-hmm. It ain't just pull up and come preach to me, nigga. You can get the fuck out of my face. I gotta build with you for real, so let's build. Yeah. And then that's not to say that it's right. You know what I'm saying? But there is, you cannot negate the fact that you do have to build a safe space and trust first before you can start educating. Like, imagine if black children learned in a space where they trusted the motherfuckers first.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, they start off that way.
Facts.
But children are like, they're insightful. So, like, the moment that you prove that they shouldn't trust you, nigga, you probably won't get that shit back. Ever. Which happens a lot because folks be operating out of survival. So they be forgetting that, you know, there's eyes that are watching that, you know, really are looking up to certain shit that you're doing when you're just trying to move. That's all.